Hey up me ducks, I had to come back to show you this. Can you believe we're living in a Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon type time period? And I know what you're thinking, oh, Game Boy, that's not that futuristic, but for the eagle-eyed viewers out there, you'll notice a little gap there. And usually when you see stuff like that, it indicates it's a phone case, and it is a phone case. They've actually managed to make a Game Boy type console that fits onto your phone. So if you get your bog standing old phone there with your customizable cool wallpaper on there, and you can put them together like bread and a piece of tuna for a tuna fish sandwich, just like Richie Sambora said once. And yeah, so switch the phone there, and then if you hold the on-off button here, it switches on. You've got a menu screen here with 2 language options. You've got English and a couple of symbols here, and I don't want this to come off as being racist, but I do not literally recognise these 2 symbols here, so I'm going to go for English anyway, because that's the language that I'm most proficient in. But yeah, it actually fits on loads of different kinds of phones. You know, if you've got like a relatively recent phone, not some ancient like Nokia N-Gage or something. Was that even a phone anyway? But yeah, you've got it fits on loads of different phones. And even though it looks kind of like relatively good, it's completely unofficial. You've got about 24 games on here. Let's go for game of Super Mario Brothers, because it's one of the best games you could get. They're actually NES versions of games. So you know, technically they're probably a little bit better than GameCube games. You know, better music and things like that. Just starting off here, World 1.1. What's really funny though, with this being some kind of like crazy, you know, knockoff version of a Game Boy, it's like the Great Guyana Sisters controversy all over again.
Look, it's going to be banned.
Actually, I was going to leave a link to where you could get this from, because it's come all the way from China, on a slow boat from China. Is that a song or a film called that? But it's actually, that link's gone now. It actually was just £12. Just made a kind of a cool jump there, but yeah, a lot of these games you've already seen them before, but we can press the reset button. It takes you to the menu screen. What was Excitebike's a good one. Where's yeah, so actually some of them have got different names as well. So like Kungfu Master is actually called Spartan X. I think that was what it was actually called in Japan. But starting off a game of Excitebike here. Kind of reminds me of, remember the old TV show called Kickstart, where they would let kids ride around on cross and motorbikes.
So this young man comes from one of the famous 5 towns in Stoke-on-Trent, Tunstall. He's riding a Whitehawk 171cc bike, goes to Brown Hills High School. That was done very well.
Yeah, you couldn't do that nowadays. Just starting off this game. It's actually kind of good, because it's got this like kind of almost risk and reward element where you can use almost like a turbo, but if you use it too much, you overheat the bike. So I flipped the bike over earlier on, which I didn't think you could actually do. There was a game similar to this for the for like Commodore 64. I think it was called, that was called Kickstart. But there's Excitebike. Let's try it. Let's find Kung Fu Master. Fun fact, Kung Fu is actually based on a Bruce Lee film called Game of Death, where you actually go up the different levels of a pagoda. But normally do quite well on this game. We'll see if I can do the first level. Also, a pro tip, if you use punches, you get more points than if you use kicks. And if you get caught, you have to go left and right really quick to shake off the opponents. Just kind of good for hand-eye coordination. That's another thing as well. I know people really don't say it much anymore, but if anybody says, "Oh, no good comes from playing video games," say, well, it's been scientifically proven that it improves your hand-eye coordination. And oh, just been killed. Oh yeah, I've a quick go on Pac Man, and this sounds crazy, but it is 100% true. The guy that designed Pac Man designed it for women.
So I thought I'd invent a game for girls. I asked myself what are girls interested in. One word left out: eating.
Women are insane about this game. Men like the sports games, the action games, and the space games. Women like the Predator games.
And he was saying that he got the idea for Pac Man for a slice of pizza. It was like literally like a pizza with one slice missing. And that's where he came up with the idea for Pac Man. And amazingly, loads of women do actually like Pac Man. Just turn it off to save the battery life. It actually charges. It's got like a little charger, USB charger there. Charge it up. But I'll say one thing as well. Always think of the Game Boy when I think of this. It's a very specific memory to me, but it's my channel, so you can get some of my memories. But it's one of the best albums ever released. It's Rock Set, and the memory that always links this to the Game Boy. I remember I always used to boast, and this is kind of good karma in a way, that I never had chicken pox, and all these people had chicken pox when I was a kid. I was like, I haven't got chicken pox. When it got to about like 1991, 1992, I got chicken pox really bad, and obviously like when you're itching and stuff like that. And even though I got loads of, and I was trying to think what the word is, but I'm sure I'm going to bodge the word up, but even though I've got loads of chamomile lotion on, we said chamomile lotion, I was still itching dead bad. But a mate had got a Game Boy at the time, and it was pretty new. He lent me a Game Boy with Super Mario Land and Tetris, which are probably two of the best games that you could get for Game Boy anyway. But I was playing those two games at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning while listening to this album, and now it's almost like such a burned into my memory element of like this album and the Game Boy, just like, you know, all those things combined. But yeah, there you go. And here's a new feature for the new year, but you've probably been wondering what this is here. It's actually a lever, and more specifically a comment lever. If I pull this comment lever, it'll randomly select a comment for me to read. I'll read out the comments and give you my thoughts on it. So here's the inaugural first pull of the lever. Here we go. Waiting for the first comment to come up. The comment is by Weird Side. Do you think you eat enough fruit? Well, thank you for the comment. I like to think my diet is quite varied, although if you look at my Twitter account, it's mostly just beer and pizza and Barry Norman pickles. But here's the second pull of the lever. Here we go. Nice sturdy lever. I wonder what comment is going to be selected. This one is by Diane Cranston. It says, number 1, we can't understand a word of what you're saying. That is so annoying when people like you record videos that cannot be understood. Why do people like you even bother? Number 2, and if we could understand you, who wants to hear what you've got to say, which is worthless to begin with? And finally, number 3, besides not understanding a word of what you're saying, you sound like you've got a hot full of You sound like, maybe she's got a point. You sound like you've got a mouthful of hot dog poop. What a complete waste of time for you and for everyone else. Well, almost none of that was complimentary, but you know what to say, you've got to have your critics.
Hate us because they ain't us.
That's not what it is.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. They hate us because we is us, and what we is doing is terrible.
Here we go, let's pull that lever. Exciting, isn't it? It's like being on a weird Japanese game show. And fan of the show, Rob Cavagalaria. That, sorry, I've messed up your name. I've only seen your name pop up about 100 times on the video, so it's a shame I can't pronounce your name. But I really enjoy when I see your comments, because they're always going to be probably pretty good. But it says absolute genius again, and there you go. See, some people Some people get it, other people need an explanation, and as always, keep it locked.
Thanks for watching The Legends of Cherry Hill. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing.